This day was especially hard for John. He was saying goodbye to his younger sister, whom he had not seen for 7 long years. A sudden rift had torn them apart forever. Leaving his hometown, John had found a decent job, found a family, and married a wonderful girl. But in all these years, he had never found the strength to reconcile with his sister. He seemed to have erased her from his memory, as if she did not exist in his life. Meanwhile, his sister was battling cancer alone, a fight she had, alas, lost. Standing at her grave, John begged for forgiveness, regretting that he didn't know of her suffering and couldn't help, even though he had every opportunity to do so. His beloved wife, Sarah, tried to take upon herself most of the cares to support her husband in this hour of grief. After the funeral ceremony, John and Sarah faced another important task. The sister had a little 7-year-old son, Alex, whom John didn't even know existed. His sister had not told him about it. Of course, because earlier he had said that he did not want to know anything about her. But now, in the face of tragedy, John realized that he must take care of his nephew. The question of who would take this responsibility was not even discussed. The decision was obvious. Sarah understood, but doubt crept into her heart. She had never wished to have children, not her own, much less anyone else's. It had been a conscious choice that she had openly told John about before their wedding. Then, while still young, he had taken her words lightly. No children, no problems, let's live for ourselves, they decided 7 years ago. But now Sarah had to accept a boy into her home who was a complete stranger to her. There was no choice. John would never agree to put his nephew in an orphanage, and Sarah couldn't even raise the issue. She knew she couldn't love this boy as her own son, and she wouldn't replace his mother. Alex was surprisingly mature and intelligent for his age, and Sarah decided to have a frank conversation with him. "Alex, do you want to live with us?" Sarah asked. "I'd like to live with my mom," replied the boy sadly. "Alex, but you realize that's impossible. Mom is gone," said Sarah softly. "Then I want to live with Uncle John." "Mommy said my Uncle John is the best," the boy said firmly. "All right, you will stay with us. But I want to be straight with you. I can't replace your mom, and I'm not sure I can love you the way you deserve. But I promise I'll take care of you. Please don't resent me for that," Sarah said softly. "Okay, I completely understand. I won't take offense," Alex replied. After all the formalities were completed, they were finally able to go home. Sarah decided that after her conversation with Alex, she didn't need to pretend to be a caring, and she could be herself. Feeding him, doing his laundry, helping him with his homework, it was within her power. But she wasn't ready to give her heart to be a mom to him. And 7-year-old Alex, though he understood his situation, still hoped for the best and tried to behave impeccably. A room appeared in their home that was to be a world of wonder for little Alex. Sarah, with love and care, chose every detail, every corner of this room. She let Alex choose the wallpaper, which became the basis for creating a fairy tale atmosphere, and then, with undisguised excitement, selected every element of the interior. She did not skimp on money. She turned the room into a real paradise for her nephew. When Alex crossed the threshold of his new room for the first time, his eyes shone with happiness, and he forgot about everything in the world. "I only wish Mom could see my room," he whispered with quiet sadness. His heart longed for a mother's love, and deep down he wished that Sarah could love him. She was so kind and caring, but a mother's love for him was something unattainable. These thoughts gently touched his soul every night before going to bed. Alex learned to find joy in simple things. The circus, the zoo, the amusement park. His genuine delight and laughter filled the air around him, and Sarah, watching him, suddenly found her heart responding to his joy. She began to look forward to these moments when she could surprise Alex and see his shining eyes. It was something new and unusual for her, but she began to realize that these small moments made their lives brighter. In August, she and her husband were to fly to the sea, and Alex was to be sent to a close relative for 10 days. But at the last moment, Sarah's heart overflowed with unexpected feelings. She suddenly realized how much she wanted to share with the boy the magic of the first sight of the vast waters of the sea. John was surprised by the change in his wife, but deep down he was glad. After all, he had grown very attached to his nephew. Alex, despite all his childhood worries, felt incredibly happy. He was going to see the sea, a pipe dream that was about to come true. The trip was a success. Warm sea, juicy fruits that delighted the palate, and a great mood. But as we know, all good things come to an end, and the vacation came to an end. The everyday life began: work, home, school. But something in their small world changed. A new feeling appeared, either the beat of life itself, or a subtle joy, the expectation of a miracle. And the miracle did happen. Sarah brought a new life from the sea, a mystery that beat in her heart. How could this happen after all they had safely avoided pregnancy for so many years? Sarah said to herself. She hesitated, not knowing what to do next. Should she tell her husband or decide for herself? After Alex had come along, she wasn't sure if her husband still didn't want children. She'd seen how much John loved to take care of the boy, had enjoyed practicing with him, and had even taken him to soccer games a few times. Their eyes shone with happiness. No, Sarah decided to herself. I had already accomplished one feat by taking Alex, but I wasn't ready for another. The decision to get pregnant was made alone in the walls of the clinic, where every minute of waiting seemed like an eternity. And just as she was about to take the next step, the phone rang from school. Sarah was told that Alex was sick and had been taken to the hospital with suspected appendicitis. Sarah flew into the emergency room of the hospital, where Alex was lying on the couch, pale and shivering with fever. When he saw Sarah, he couldn't help but cry, "Sarah, please don't go. I'm very scared. Be my mom today. Please, just for one day, and I won't ask you to be my mom again." Alex struggled to say the words, clutching her hand. Tears flowed down his cheeks, from fear, from pain, and he couldn't calm down. Sarah had never seen him in such a state, except for that terrible day of saying goodbye to his mother. Now there was a boy in front of her who was experiencing a real tragedy. Sarah gently pressed his cold palm to her face and whispered, "Be patient a little while, my beloved little one. The doctor is coming now and everything will be fine. I'm right here beside you and I'm not going anywhere." At that moment she realized that she loved him with all her heart. This boy with the enthusiastic eyes was the most important thing she had. The thought of being childless seemed ridiculous to her now. Tonight she would tell John she was pregnant. That decision came at the very moment when Alex clutched her hand even tighter in his small fingers and searched her eyes for comfort and support. 10 years have flown by. Today is Sarah's special day. It's her 45th birthday. Guests and congratulations are expected ahead, but now, in the quiet of the morning with a cup of fragrant coffee, She's immersed in memories. How quickly the years flew by. Youth. And here she is, a happy wife and mother of two wonderful children. Alex is about to turn 18, and little Sophia is 10. She feels grateful for every day that passes. Although no, there is one thing Sarah regrets immensely. It's the words she said to Alex when he agreed to live with them. She wishes he would forget them, that those words would never burden his heart. After that day in the hospital, she tried to tell him of her love as often as possible. But whether the boy remembered those first confessions, Sarah never dared to ask.